Mm-hmm.
Let's, when you've got congressional seats up, let's remember who didn't want to vote because an election was around the corner. We can fire them with our votes. That's kind of important. Another thing that we've got, the only way out of this right now is on our knees.
Yeah.
The only way that we as a nation are going to come out of this at all is if we as a nation take to our knees and open up a dialogue with our Maker.
See, Rosie O'Donnell could have made a better argument. She said you can't fight violence with violence. Well, fighting, if somebody's attacking you violently, it sometimes is going to take violence to stop them.
Mm-hmm.
But the better argument is, how do you fight hatred? Because that's what ISIS has for us.
Yeah.
For the Christian world, for the free world, is hatred. You can't fight hatred with more hatred. That much is true.
That much is true.
But the only way that we are told as Christians to fight hate is with love.
Yeah.
And the way you fight hatred with love, you don't do it with a pistol in your hand. You don't do it with a rifle. You do it on your knees.
You mean like praying for your enemy?
Yes, we have to.
Yeah.
We have to. And not only that, but the Bible tells us that when we pray, that the prayers of a righteous man are powerful.
It also says that the authority of all the rulers on earth are granted to them by God Himself.
Jehovah
God, that's right. That means that our president needs prayer more than ever right now. Because if he is acting with God's authority, then he needs to... He can only know God's will by God telling him His will. And that comes from our prayers. Us praying to God to give our leadership wisdom to know what to do and the courage to do it. We've said we don't know exactly what the answer is here in this situation.
I don't feel the pressure to know the right answer. Do you?
No, but I do feel the pressure to pray.
Because you and I can't come up with all the answers.
No.
But God has them all already. But we won't know what they are if we don't ask.
Well, we do know from our scriptures that tell us, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven. I will forgive their sins and I will heal their land. That's God talking there. We are God's people. We are called by His name. All we have to do now is just humble ourselves a little bit and seek the face of God and turn from our wicked ways. I mean, 3 million babies being killed by Planned Parenthood is a good place to start from those wicked ways, to turn from there. We could pray for relief of the hatred that we feel for our enemy.
Yes.
It's very hard not to hate someone that wants to cut your head off with a dull knife.
We could also pray for forgiveness for each other, for our fellow citizens, the ones that we disagree with politically. We need to be able to pray for ourselves to have the strength and the courage to forgive things that we perceive as wrongs done to us, and try to reconcile ourselves with our fellow citizens.
Well, look, dude, it's Thursday, which means we have a whole weekend and Monday for things to go crazy. But it also means that we have a whole weekend and Monday to hit our knees and pray for our fellow man and the well-being of our country and wisdom for our leadership. We can start that tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I'm asking of our audience. I will ask you to pray. Every episode of Honest Answer Radio, when we get to this point, we ask you to pray. That's not going to stop. Because that is the answer to all of our problems. It will lie in fervent, ceaseless prayer. So until Tuesday, hit your knees, folks.
Pray for each other.
Love each other. And we'll see y'all Tuesday.
Good night, y'all.
Later on.